So I'm going to show you how to connect Spark with Cassandra using a Spark connector. So first I'm going to navigate to the Maven repository and find the Cassandra connector. So I know a connector that's going to work really well for connecting Spark with Cassandra. Typing in Spark Cassandra connector, we get this data stacks connector to help connect Spark with Cassandra. Going to this page, we can see we've got many different connectors available. So how do we know which one we need to choose? Running Spark shell in the terminal, we can find out what version of Spark we have and what version of Scala we're using. Now that our Spark shell is running, we can see we're using Spark version 3.2.1 and Scala version 2.12.15. Take note of that, we're going to need it to get the correct Cassandra connector. So in the Cassandra connector's case, this version means this version of Spark, and this Scala column means the version of Scala that you're using. And they're both there because under the hood, Spark's natively using Scala to connect to Cassandra. So we're going to need 4 things from this page. We're going to need the artifact ID here, the group ID here, version number, and the Scala version number. These 4 things make up what's called the Maven coordinates. To submit connectors to Spark, we need to submit them as packages to the global environment variable Pyspark submit args. Under the hood, Spark's going to run a command and it's going to look for the environment variable Pyspark _ submit _ args, and it's going to use that environment variable to submit additional arguments in Pyspark to the Spark session. This includes all the connectors that we are going to want to use. Using that environment variable, we can specify specific packages that we want to submit to the Pyspark shell to connect different data sources. And overall, that's going to look like this. So within this string, we're specifying the flag packages, and then we're providing to that the connector as a package and submitting that to the Pyspark shell. So the connector is made up of the Maven coordinates, which relate to the connector on the Maven page. So how does this relate to our Python code? So can you see here, the artifact ID relates to the artifact ID in the website. The group ID, same as the group ID in the website. And we have here this separated by underscore, the Scala version, colon, the version number of our Spark connector. Pyspark is going to submit the job to Spark using these arguments. So we're going to submit these packages to the Pyspark shell. And if we had multiple connectors, just separate them with a comma and no space. So it looks something like this. The most important things you're going to need to do with Cassandra is read and write data. So the 2 important lines you need to know when using a Cassandra connector is to specify the format as write to Cassandra, and also specify the table name you want to write to and the key space you want to write to as well. Think of the key space like a database. For this connector, we need to use the format org.apache.spark.sql.cassandra. And here we've got specific options, which are the table and the key space that we'd like to use in Cassandra. And the read is exactly the same. Those are the essentials that you're going to need to know to read and write data to Cassandra from Pyspark.